there, I'm Patricia Nolan-Brown. I'm an inventor and I'm the author of Idea to Invention, What You Need to Know to Cash In on Your Inspiration. And I'm hoping to help the average person become an inventor because you don't have to go broke trying to... Today I'm headed to Home Depot and I have to get stuff there anyways, but I'm going to go show you how to put together a quick prototype and also what a benefit statement is on your sell sheet, because you'll need to do those two steps. A benefit statement is just a one sentence, enticing, strong, and direct sentence to get potential licensees or store buyers to say, I want more information on that. So it's a little bit, there's a little bit of an art to it. You start out with this many words and you keep honing down. So I'm going to show you some products in stores and we'll see what their benefit statements ended up being, and you know that the buyers bought that. And as far as prototypes, when I first started, believe it or not, there was no such store as Toys R Us or Home Depot. So I spent a lot of time in hardware stores, but a gold mine is the plumbing aisle at Home Depot, because there's all kinds of shapes and sizes of plastic pieces that you can use. And I could have used on the back of my prototype for my rear-facing car seat mirror back in the day. I'll link up to a video. I have a series on how I did a prototype for that product. It's on YouTube, and you can click on that and it goes into some more visual detail. Again, you don't need a prototype. I like to build them. You do have to prove the concept, so I like to fool around with prototypes. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, just something that you can photograph or give to someone to do an illustration, or you do an illustration. Let's go. I'm in Michael's, the craft store, because I had to get a pin to pin this shawl scarf type of thing I had. And looking at some of the items and to see what their benefit statements are. So let's take a look. There's a rainbow loom, and it makes a point of drawing your eye in here, and it says loom 7 times faster. So that's definitely a benefit statement, and it's put above one that I guess is slower, because I don't know anything about looming, but that's a benefit statement. Here's another differentiator. Looks like a wine glass, but you go to that Starburst type, it says holds an entire bottle of wine. So that differentiates things. Just drove by a McDonald's and then a Burger King right next door to each other. And I know that one of them, the slogan and the benefit statement is have it your way. In other words, you can customize your burger or your order, and that's a benefit to some people. So things you hear in commercials and jingles, those are their benefits usually. Another great place to study, look at the mail that comes through your mail slot or mailbox every single day. Those little cards or flyers, brochures, and read what's under the company name. And it's usually going to emphasize a benefit, how they are different. But just because they say it's a benefit, you have to make sure it is, because sometimes they stretch the truth just a little bit. Okay, I'm at the Home Depot and I'm going to the plumbing aisle, PVC pipes and fittings. And this is exciting if you're building a prototype. Tons of plastic pieces. So chances are your product is probably going to be made out of plastic. But I mean, if I were looking for an angle for the back of my mirror, say, I would try to find something that I could retrofit that angle just for the purposes of a prototype. So I would look at every single thing in here and see what I could even cut or, you know, melt and heat bend it with my hairdryer. if it was thin enough. All this stuff. I need to cut it with a saw. Just get some duct tape, slap something to it. Double-sided tape. With all these different angles. And then of course you have metal. You could bend this stuff and make interesting pieces. This is when you have to channel your arts and all these things that you could retrofit. Thin enough to bend and form into shapes that you might need, and then look into all these little boxes of goodies. There's some pieces of plastic you could chop up or do what you needed to do with. Strapping. Look at that. If you needed a hook for something. Copper pipes. Geez, you could cut this in half and make a ring. So all of these things have potential to be pieces and components of a prototype, if you desire to build a prototype. Here's another sample of a benefit. The drain weasel. It says instantly fix hair clog drains, and it gives you a little illustration. Insert and spin, remove the clog, and toss it. Right to the point. Colored tubing. Different sizes. Flexible. Here's an example of a bunch of gloves. So, you know, which ones do you choose? So the benefits have to be pretty much right on the label and quick to see, okay? This one says cut resistance. Alright. This one, my eye goes to durable reinforced palm. This one says fingerless. Heavy duty. So that, you know, you're not in here for hours trying to figure out what you need. Water resistant. Touchscreen compatible. Maximum gripping gloves. Those are all benefits that make them different from others. If you like the leather, that's here. Say you need a hammer. Well, which hammer are you going to choose from if there's more than one? You're going to read the benefits. Maybe you'll go for the price. Maybe that's a benefit for you. Or the material. So let's go find some hammers. Okay, as I suspected, there's a few hammers here. So, it's got to be on the packaging and quick to find. Okay, steel all-purpose. 2 times easier than claw. Okay, here's a fiberglass. Guaranteed forever. My eye goes to this one. It's kind of a cute package. World's best shock reduced grip. That's very clever right there. Made in the USA, if that's important to you. Nothing hits harder. That might be important if you've got a really heavy-duty job. Magnetic nail holder they're emphasizing here. Lots of choices. Which one are you going to choose? You're going to go to the one that has the benefit that you think you need, or you're going to just look at the pricing. And you do pay for what you get. And then you have to consider branding. Husky, that's a very good name in tools, so you know that they're good. All these decisions for one hammer. And that's how this whole store is. Row after row of screwdrivers. So when you think that something's already been invented, or there are too many of something, you can come up with a benefit to be different. That's the key. Practice it. Just sit down, write all the benefits, try to make sentences out of it, hone it down. And when you did your in-store research to find out whether your idea was even marketable, which you can go back a couple of videos for that info, you wrote down your competitors' packaging, pricing, materials, and the benefits. So you can tweak yours, make it different. Another cool department is the lumber. It smells so good in here. You can get pieces of lumber to build a prototype. If you need something cut, they have a cutting center. They'll saw it for you. This is interesting. Looks like brick, but it's not. Get creative making things out of this stuff. They also have pieces of glass in here. See, the public that walks in here sees these as shims, pieces of wood to level up things. But I see this as kind of a woodworking kit to make things out of. They're already angled. Cut them pretty easily, paint them. Composite shims. There's bigger ones. So even if you live in a small place and you don't want to keep all this stuff around, you can pretty much get whatever you need. There's reflective stuff, highly visible. Just, you know, you would use these for different colors. If you had a product that needed a cord on it, or if you needed an S-hook, you could buy this and break it up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 prototypes right there. All of the stuff, just use your imagination. That's a nice color. You could retrofit this into different products quite easily. This has been really fun, but I've got to get out of here and get some work done at home. I hope that you've enjoyed this trip to the store and your wheels are turning about your benefit statement so that we can go on and make a sell sheet and a product demo video. Do you need to have a prototype? No. If you're strictly licensing your product, you don't really need to have one, but I would recommend having one because then it shows people how it works, but you can always get away with an illustration or a drawing on a napkin. Stay curious, stay creative, and keep moving forward until your ideas pop. See you next time. Flashlight 40 times brighter. Okay, why wouldn't I get it then?